What turns a small desert nation into one of the world's richest countries? Qatar, the wealthiest Muslim-majority nation, is famed for its opulent architecture and world-class facilities. It was the chosen host for the World Cup in the year 2022, showcasing cutting-edge sports venues to welcome fans from around the globe. In recent years, Qatar has consistently ranked as one of the safest countries worldwide. According to the latest data from the Numbeo Crime Index, Qatar's crime rate is remarkably low, recorded at 14 out of 100 points. This places it just behind Abu Dhabi, which holds a score of around 12. But what does it mean for life in Qatar to be so secure, and how does this impact the daily lives of the people who call it home? Let's dive deeper into what life is really like in Qatar, a place where safety seems to be woven into the very fabric of society. In the early 20th century, Qatar's story took a remarkable turn with the discovery of oil, forever transforming the nation's path. This resource, hidden beneath the barren sands, unlocked an era of unimaginable wealth and propelled the country from a quiet fishing and pearl diving community into one of the wealthiest nations on the planet. By the 1970s, Qatar's oil revenues were soaring, reshaping not only its economy but also its societal structure and global standing. Oil alone, however, was just the beginning. In the 1990s, Qatar discovered one of the largest natural gas fields in the world, the North Field, which spans over 6,000 square kilometers. This natural gas reserve, now a cornerstone of Qatar's prosperity, cemented the country's economic future, bringing in billions of dollars annually and helping it become the world's largest exporter of liquefied natural gas as of the year 2024. This wealth fueled rapid modernization, funding grand infrastructure projects, advanced healthcare, and free education for citizens. But while oil and gas have made Qatar's fortunes, they've also brought unexpected challenges. The story of Qatar's rise isn't just one of luxury and progress. This newfound wealth brought social and environmental complexities that continue to shape the nation's trajectory. One of the most pressing issues in Qatar is the treatment of migrant workers. Qatar's wealth has made it a major destination for workers from various regions, particularly Africa, South Asia, and Southeast Asia. These workers arrive with hopes of earning wages that can transform their lives and provide economic security for their families back home. But what they find is often far from the dream. Qatar's labor practices, widely scrutinized after the year 2022 World Cup, reveal significant issues within its labor system. Qatar's labor system, particularly the kafala or sponsorship system, grants employers control over workers, restricting their ability to leave their jobs or even the country without employer approval. Amnesty International reports that from the year 2010 to the year 2019, over 15,000 foreign nationals, representing a range of ages and professions, lost their lives while working in Qatar, highlighting concerns about worker safety and transparency. Beyond labor issues, Qatar's social framework also presents significant challenges. Gender equality, for instance, remains an ongoing struggle in various aspects of Qatari society. While Qatar is generally considered safe and tourists, especially solo female travelers, often feel welcome, women face certain legal and social restrictions. Women in Qatar encounter limitations on travel and on their freedom to engage in certain activities without male consent, particularly those who are younger or unmarried. There have also been reports of invasive procedures imposed on foreign women travelers at airports, highlighting further complexities in the realm of women's rights. Despite these challenges, Qatar does have strict security measures, making it a relatively safe place for visitors. Female tourists, for example, can comfortably navigate the country, though they're advised to adhere to modest dress codes. But what does it mean to live in a country where locals are vastly outnumbered by foreign workers who face such distinct challenges? Before we continue, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, just press the notification bell and hit that subscribe button. It means the world. It really supports this channel. And if you do that for me, I promise my team and I will do everything we can to make this show even better for you. Deal? Did you know that only about 300,000 Qataris live among nearly 3 million residents? With around 90% of residents being non-native, Qatar's population structure is among the most distinctive globally, similar to neighboring countries like the United Arab Emirates and Kuwait. Despite being a minority, Qatari citizens hold significant influence over key aspects of the nation, controlling government policies, laws, and economic sectors. This influence ensures that nationals occupy prestigious positions and benefit from various privileges, such as state-sponsored healthcare, education, and housing. Meanwhile, the expatriate workforce, primarily from South Asia, Africa, and Southeast Asia, plays a critical role in driving Qatar's infrastructure and service industries. From constructing stadiums and hotels to working in hospitality and maintenance, expatriates support the nation's rapid development. Qatar's social structure creates a stark division of roles, with limited access for non-nationals to high-ranking positions or government benefits. Yet, the interaction between cultures is inevitable. What's it like to live in Qatar, where tradition meets rapid modernization? Qatar's legal system, rooted in Islamic Sharia law, shapes daily life here. For locals, this may feel customary, but visitors from Western nations like Australia often find adapting to these norms a unique challenge. For instance, Qatar enforces strict substance laws with severe penalties for possession. Even carrying medication for sensitive diseases may lead to some difficulties, including the risk of being denied entry or asked to leave the country due to very strict health control procedures. The Qatari legal system is sometimes viewed as less transparent and politically influenced, especially for foreign nationals, making the judicial process complex for those unfamiliar with it. Stability defines Qatari politics, though regional alliances influence policies. What are your thoughts on navigating a place where everyday life is shaped by strict legal and cultural norms? Would you feel comfortable adapting to these rules, or would it feel too restrictive? Let us know in the comments below. In Qatar, alcohol access is tightly regulated and culturally significant. It is only available in licensed hotels, bars, and clubs, and can legally be purchased by non-Muslim expatriates through the Qatar Distribution Company, the sole authorized importer. However, buying from QDC requires a special permit issued only to non-Muslim residents who meet a minimum salary requirement, and prices are steep due to a 100% tax on alcohol. Alcohol-related offenses in Qatar carry severe penalties. Consuming alcohol in public or being intoxicated outside designated areas can lead to legal penalties of up to 6 months and a fine of $825. Providing alcohol to anyone under 16 is also heavily penalized, with legal penalty sentences of up to 3 years and fines of up to $2,750. Driving under the influence is strictly prohibited, with offenders facing legal penalties, fines, or even deportation for expatriates. During Ramadan, restrictions tighten further, with bars and restaurants ceasing alcohol service during daylight hours, and the QDC outlet remaining closed for the entire month. Residents with permits must plan ahead to meet these limitations. For visitors, bringing alcohol into Qatar is not allowed. Doha airport screens all arriving luggage, and any alcohol is confiscated, with potential legal consequences for attempting to import it. Curious about what it costs to live in one of the world's wealthiest nations? Accommodation in Qatar ranks among the top 10 priciest globally. A basic hotel stay can start around $137 per night, with more comfortable stays often reaching over $274. During international events, these prices can skyrocket, sometimes even doubling. For long-term rentals, a one-bedroom apartment in Doha's city center typically costs more than $1,600 monthly. Food isn't cheap either. A fast food meal can range from $6.50 to nearly $21. Home cooking doesn't offer much relief, with essentials like flour, cheese, and onions averaging about $1.37 each. Many residents find creative ways to manage these expenses, adapting their shopping and dining habits. Despite the high costs, Qatar offers a lifestyle that's both cosmopolitan and culturally rich. Would these prices be worth the experience for you? Let us know your thoughts and stay tuned as we explore more life in this country. In Qatar, summer temperatures can reach as high as 50 degrees Celsius, or about 122 degrees Fahrenheit. To combat this intense heat, the Qatari government has adopted innovative measures. In Doha, some streets are coated with a blue layer to reflect heat, reducing surface temperatures. Additionally, air conditioning units have been installed along roadsides to provide relief to pedestrians, using special pigments to reflect sunlight rather than absorb it. Such extreme heat can cause dehydration, nausea, and fainting, especially for those not used to these conditions. This has even led some international sporting events to adjust their schedules to avoid peak temperatures. Qatar's immense wealth has fueled ambitious projects that are nearly unimaginable in most desert nations. From man-made islands to sprawling outdoor spaces cooled by massive air conditioning systems, Qatar has transformed its arid landscape in ways that blur the boundaries of nature and technology. Walking through Doha's bustling souks, you're surrounded by lush greenery and palm trees, an oasis in the middle of a desert where summer temperatures often exceed 45 degrees Celsius, or over 113 degrees Fahrenheit. Cool breezes flow through open markets and gathering spaces, providing comfort against the relentless desert heat. But cooling outdoor areas on such a large scale requires an enormous amount of energy, leading many to question the environmental implications of these developments. The environmental cost of Qatar's rapid growth is indeed significant. Constructing artificial islands disrupts marine ecosystems and increases water pollution, while the country's energy consumption ranks among the highest per capita in the world. This level of resource use has sparked global discussions about sustainability, especially as Qatar's development increasingly impacts carbon emissions and contributes to the challenges of climate change. Could such a path be maintained without further damaging the environment? A report from the World Bank and Qatar's Environment and Energy Research Institute, published in the year 2023, highlights this tension. With its rising energy consumption, Qatar faces mounting pressure to find sustainable alternatives while balancing its aspirations for comfort and innovation. The country has responded with new green initiatives aimed at reducing its environmental impact, yet the sheer scale of these luxury developments raises tough questions about the balance between progress and preservation. What do you think? Is it possible for a country like Qatar to maintain its luxurious lifestyle and ambitious projects without sacrificing the environment? Or does this level of comfort come at too high a cost to the planet? Let us know in the comments below. Did you know that Qatar is one of the flattest countries on Earth? Its highest point reaches just 338 feet above sea level, making its landscape remarkably low-lying. But with its vast resources and forward-thinking vision, Qatar has transformed its terrain into an oasis of world-class infrastructure and luxury. Take Hamad International Airport, a true icon of modern travel. In the year 2021, this airport was named the best in the world by the Skytrax World Airport Awards. What makes it stand out? Could it be the unparalleled design, blending functionality with elegance, or perhaps the meticulous attention to passenger comfort? Even its runway impresses. It stretches over 15,900 feet, the longest in West Asia. This gives it the capacity to handle the world's most advanced aircraft and some of the longest flights on the planet. Qatar Airways, the country's national airline, is another point of pride. Awarded the title of the best airline in the year 2021, Qatar Airways is not just about luxury, it's about connecting the world. As one of the few airlines to fly to all 7 continents, Qatar Airways has made Doha a truly global hub. At one time, it even held the record for the world's longest commercial flight, covering the distance between Doha and Auckland in 16.5 hours. Beyond its transportation marvels, Qatar's commitment to luxury and infrastructure highlights its unique vision for growth and influence on the global stage. With billions invested in sleek architecture, world-class public facilities, and sustainable innovations, Qatar is much more than its natural geography suggests. While Qatar's cutting-edge infrastructure dazzles on a global scale, there's another side to this nation, a stunning natural landscape where the desert meets the sea in a way you wouldn't expect. How does a place known for its luxurious urban developments coexist with such raw, untouched beauty? Stay tuned. One of Qatar's standout natural wonders is Khor Al Adaid, also known as the Inland Sea. Situated in southeast Qatar near the Saudi Arabian border, it's a place where the sea and desert collide in a way unlike anywhere else. In the year 2007, Khor Al Adaid was designated a protected nature reserve, and it is now being considered for a UNESCO World Heritage Site listing. But Qatar's innovations don't stop with its natural landscape. Following the world's attention during the year 2022 World Cup, the country invested in advanced sports facilities that continue to draw global interest. One remarkable feature is Doha's Olympic cycling track, which now holds a Guinness World Record. Stretching over 33 kilometers, this is the longest continuous bicycle path in the world, designed specifically to Olympic standards. An additional record-breaking section covers over 25 kilometers of asphalt concrete path, demonstrating Qatar's dedication to creating world-class infrastructure. While Qatar's remarkable landscapes and record-breaking modern innovations capture global attention, the country's commitment to preserving its natural heritage runs just as deep, embodied in the Arabian oryx, an animal that has come to symbolize resilience and national pride. The Arabian oryx, with its sleek white coat and long horns, is a symbol of Qatar's heritage and a testament to conservation efforts. This antelope, native to the Arabian Peninsula, is perfectly suited to desert life, with its reflective white fur and broad hooves for sandy terrain. However, overhunting and habitat loss drove it to extinction in the wild by the early 1970s. In response, Operation Oryx launched a global captive breeding effort, successfully reintroducing the Arabian oryx to its native environment. Today, the Arabian oryx is an icon in Qatar. Displayed on the tail fins of Qatar aircraft, it symbolizes national pride and commitment to preservation. The oryx even took center stage as Ori the Oryx, the official mascot of the year 2006 Asian Games in Doha. Talk a little about the Qatari flag, which is rich in history and symbolism. Its deep maroon color reflects Qatar's heritage in dye production on Al Khor Island, once famous for high-quality purple dye. The flag's unique proportions, more than twice as wide as it is high, make it one of a kind. The 9 serrations represent Qatar as the 9th Gulf state to sign a treaty with the British in the year 1916, symbolizing its unity with the region while honoring its distinct identity. Did you know that in Qatar, native Qataris make up only 15% of the total population? This fascinating demographic twist has made Qatar one of the most unique cultural hubs in the world. With a population that is predominantly expatriate, Qatar has developed a distinctive social landscape blending cultures and lifestyles from every corner of the globe. Qatar is notably welcoming to expatriates, offering a high standard of living with remarkably low crime rates, making it an attractive destination for professionals and their families. What's particularly enticing for many is Qatar's tax-free policy on salaries, which applies to income earned both within the country and abroad. This unique benefit has transformed Qatar into a magnet for global business people and skilled workers, allowing them to build prosperous lives without the tax burden they might face elsewhere. But how does Qatar's warm welcome to foreigners align with its strict preservation of traditional values? This balance of openness and restraint creates a social dynamic unlike any other, leaving us to wonder, can modernity and heritage truly coexist in harmony here? Qatar sits at a cultural crossroads, carefully navigating the line between Western influence and deep-rooted traditions. The nation's rapid modernization, marked by luxury hotels, advanced infrastructure, and international events reflects a desire to position itself as a global hub. But this progress is tempered by a commitment to preserve its traditional values. In many aspects of life, Qatar maintains a firm grip on cultural norms, especially when it comes to media, personal freedoms, and social customs. Censorship and controlled media are central to Qatar's approach. While foreign media operates within the country, topics that challenge political or religious values are often restricted, and local media remains cautious, avoiding criticism of government policies. This careful control extends to public expression and online activity, where citizens and residents alike are mindful of what they say or share. For many Western visitors, this restraint is a stark contrast to the openness they might expect elsewhere, serving as a reminder that Qatar's modernization is not a full embrace of Western freedoms. Qatar's balance between progress and tradition also surfaces in everyday life. Public displays of affection are discouraged, modest dress codes are respected, and gender-segregated spaces are common, especially in schools and some social gatherings. In a country known for its luxury and modernity, these customs might feel like stepping back in time, yet they're essential to the cultural identity that Qatar strives to protect. As Qatar continues its path forward, it stands with one foot in tradition and the other cautiously stepping into the future. For those visiting or observing from afar, Qatar's journey raises a compelling question. How does a country balance the allure of modernity with the weight of its past? In Qatar's case, the answer is both complex and uniquely its own. The 2022 FIFA World Cup was supposed to be Qatar's moment in the global spotlight, a celebration of sports, unity, and the country's rapid transformation. Yet beneath the gleaming stadiums and well-manicured grounds, a different story unfolded, casting shadows over the festivities. From the start, Qatar's bid to host the tournament faced intense scrutiny, with allegations of bribery and corruption emerging soon after the country won the right to host. Reports surfaced suggesting that officials had influenced voting in Qatar's favor, sparking international criticism and a series of investigations. The controversies didn't end with the bidding process. As construction ramped up to meet World Cup deadlines, human rights organizations began sounding the alarm about conditions faced by the migrant workers building the event's infrastructure. Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch documented accounts of workers subjected to grueling hours in extreme heat, unpaid wages and restricted freedom due to the kafala system. As the world celebrated on freshly laid turf, what stories went unheard beneath it? For some, the World Cup symbolized progress, but for others it highlighted the ethical costs of such global events. The focus on Qatar raised broader questions about the price paid by workers, the environmental impact, and the responsibility of host nations on the world stage. Qatar's World Cup was a spectacle of achievement, but left the world to ponder the true cost of hosting such an ambitious event. But beyond the glittering stadiums and the global spotlight, what other unusual stories does Qatar hold within its sands? While some controversies made headlines, others, like the strange case of 20,000 abandoned luxury cars in the desert, reveal unexpected insights into this rapidly evolving nation. In the deserts of Qatar lies a curious sight: more than 20,000 luxury cars, abandoned in scrapyards like Al-Waqair, left to gather dust and sand. These vehicles, some stripped for spare parts, others fully intact, offer a glimpse into a society where rapid development and wealth have given rise to an unusual kind of waste. Unlike other countries, where household refuse or plastic is the primary concern, Qatar's waste includes high-end cars, discarded by their owners and left to deteriorate. What drives this phenomenon? Are these abandoned cars a byproduct of changing lifestyles, economic shifts, or something deeper within Qatari culture? Interestingly, the country plans to open the Qatar Automotive Museum along the 5-6 Expressway, a project intended to showcase the nation's deep connection to cars and possibly address this growing luxury car graveyard.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and tap the notification button for the latest updates, exclusively on Epic Media.